Hello and welcome to Competology Academy, and today we are going to discuss an important topic, that is China is on target of India's nuclear weapon. So many of you may say that is this an exaggeration or likewise, but it is not like that, because the report on this has been published by FAS, Federation of American Scientists. They do the research and analysis and other things. So let us start the discussion, and we should understand why India is targeting China and why India is enhancing its nuclear weapon system and all those kind of things. So first of all, let's have a look at the Federation of American Scientists, this organization. So this is basically a non-profit organization which does the policy research and advocacy work. So this is not working for any money purpose or likewise, but basically they are working for the betterment of the humanity and peace throughout the world. And this organization was established in 1984 because of an important event. So that important event was the nuclear bombardment of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and after watching the devastation of Japan, they thought that this is not a good thing, and thereafter they established the people who were concerned about the mankind, who were concerned about the world peace, and those were the scientists, and they established the organization FAS. However, at that very time, the full form of FAS was Federation of Atomic Scientists, and at that very time they were doing the research work and the policy advocacy work only for the nuclear disarmament of the world and restricting the proliferation of the nuclear weapons throughout the world, because it was going to be devastating, and they were of the view that this weapon should not get proliferated throughout the world. However, here they do the research work for the national security challenges, and that is not restricted within America only, but they do the research work for the national security challenges for different countries throughout the world. And they do this on evidences. They first of all collect the evidence, and thereafter they do the research and analysis work, and they collect the scientific data. Scientifically driven data is used for the policy advocacy, that is non-partisan. They do not favor anyone, any nation or any country, but they are value neutral, they are party neutral, non-partisan people. And that is why their research work, their reports are preferred throughout the world as a valid report, right? And they do the analysis and research work for all these things, and they changed the name from Federation of Atomic Scientists to the Federation of American Scientists, because they thought that there is need to have a look and do the research work not only for the nuclear threat but also for the biological weapons threat, chemical weapons threat, as well as the climate change, because all these are a threat to the mankind on the earth. All these can do the devastation to the same extent or more or less equivalent, which will be detrimental for the mankind on the earth. And for that matter, they changed the name of their organization. Now come to India and why the target for India has changed. So here earlier Pakistan was the target for India, and accordingly India used to develop the nuclear weapons as a credible deterrence for Pakistan. However, now Pakistan is already reeling in the economic crisis. They have their own problems which are detrimental to themselves, and for that matter India doesn't need to target Pakistan as of now. However, China is showing aggressive posture and they are threatening India's border security and integrity time and again at Pangong, so at Doklam, at Arunachal Pradesh. They are developing the railway infrastructure, they are developing the air bases, they are developing the roadways, etc. along the border of India to enhance their mobility capacities. And they have different military establishments and airfields along the border of India. And for that matter, India needs to have a credible deterrence now for China. And that is why now India is enhancing its nuclear capacity in accordance with China. Right. And here, if we go on to see that what India is doing, then India is modernizing its nuclear arsenal. The whole nuclear arsenal of India is being modernized to match China. Next, India is operationalizing the nascent Triad. India is time and again testing, doing the drills of the working of the Triad of India. And what is Triad? Triad is the capacity of any nation to launch the nuclear warhead from air, water, or land. So all the three modes can be used for the delivery of nuclear warhead, and this is called the Triad. So India have developed the Triad, and this is nascent one. Recently India has developed the Triad, achieved the Triad capacity, and time and again India is testing it, right? And now the 4 new weapon systems are under development in India, because at present there were only 8 different nuclear weapon systems, nuclear capable systems, which were not sufficient to prove detrimental, to prove a deterrent for China. And that is why, to make the nuclear weapon system of India deterring to China, the 4 new nuclear capable systems are being developed, and at present 2 are of aircraft, that is air. The 4 are of land-based ballistic missile system, and 2 are of sea-based ballistic missile systems. And here 4 more will be added, and the total will become 12 nuclear capable weapon system that will be with India, right? And here, what are the estimates of FAS? Because the FAS does not do any of the statement without evidences, so they might have some of the scientific evidences, and after that they have made some of the estimations. So basically they have estimated that India have produced approximately 700 kg plus minus 150 kg of the weapons grade plutonium, the fissile material, the nuclear material. And here, this much of plutonium is sufficient for making 138 to 230 nuclear warheads. And keep these numbers in mind, because these numbers will help us to understand the coming matters, coming slides, right? And not all the material has been used. However, they say that till now India has 160 nuclear warheads, and India is trying to increase the number of nuclear warheads. So all these 3 numbers will be utilized in this slide here, right? So what is the world scenario of the nuclear warhead stockpile? So here there are around 13,080 nuclear warheads throughout the world, and this is also a report of FAS of 2021, right? And as we see here that the largest number of nuclear warhead stockpile is with Russia, which is 6,255. Thereafter United States of America, that is 5,550. And these 2 nations have the nuclear warhead. More than 98% of the nuclear warhead is with these 2 nations. And here you can see that thereafter at third number is China, which have only 350 nuclear warheads. And thereafter the nation is France, 290, United Kingdom 225, Pakistan, which is ahead of India, 165, and here in India 156. This data shows that 156 because the 160 data is of 2022. However, the data for the rest of the nations for 2022 was not available, right? And here Israel 90, and thereafter North Korea 42 50, and North Korea is the only nation which is not having that much of economic capability, and still now Pakistan can also add it to that list. And apart from these nations, 5 such nations are there which host the US nuclear weapons, and they are Turkey 50, Italy 40, Belgium, Germany and Netherlands 20 each. And these are the nations which are member of NATO, and that is why Russia was fearful of Ukraine joining NATO, because if Ukraine had joined NATO, then there were possibility that the US nuclear weapons might have been deployed in Ukraine also, and it had threatened the national security of Russia, because Russia would have been in direct target. Still, these are the weapons which are in Europe or in the Middle East, and only that Turkey is in the Middle East. Rest of the nations are in Europe itself, and they can target Russia quite easily, which is a threat to Russia. And one of these thing was the major reason behind the Cuban Missile Crisis, which we will discuss in another video. And that is why Russia attacked Ukraine, out of fear that Ukraine might join NATO, and for that matter, to deter Ukraine or restrict Ukraine from joining NATO, Russia attacked Ukraine, right? So this was one of the basic concern of Russia, which Russia says, right? And now, what are the sources of weapons? Oh, however, we forgot to discuss that here. What happens? We can see that there is a difference of 200 warheads between India and China, as we have seen in the earlier slide, that 700 plus minus 150 kg of the war grade, nuclear grade plutonium has been produced by India, which is capable of producing 138 to 213 nuclear warheads, and this number will enable India to match China 156 plus 200, so it will be around that of the number of warheads that is with China. And that is the thing what India is going to achieve by modernizing its nuclear weapon system and development of the new nuclear warheads, right? And now, what are the sources of weapon grade plutonium for India? So here the Dhruv reactor that is at Bhabha Atomic Research Center Complex, BARC, right? So here at BARC there is a Dhruv reactor which produces the nuclear weapon grade nuclear material or plutonium, right? And here the FAA says that India have the plans to expand the plutonium production capacity significantly, because they say that India is planning to install or develop one more reactor here at BARC to produce war grade nuclear material or plutonium. So that is the thing they say. And they say that India is constructing a secret naval base named INS Varsa on the eastern coast of India, and that is being constructed at Rambili village, that is around 50 kilometers from Visakhapatnam, and this is the location where there are hills, solid rock region on the eastern coast. and there they are developing the tunnels to host the submarines, nuclear capable submarines over there, so that they can be deployed near to China whenever there will be a need. So that is the thing they say. The FAS says, now come to Triad. So one of the meaning of Triad is also Trisul in Hindi, and here that Triad means that air, water and land. So the nuclear warhead can be delivered from anyone, the air system, the land system or the water system. If any nation is capable of doing this thing, then it is said that that nation has achieved the Triad. And India is the fourth nation which has achieved the Triad modernization system, nuclear war delivery system. And apart from India, China, Russia and United States also have the Triad. And earlier France was also having the Triad, but they have discontinued it, dismantled it, and it is suspected that Israel also have the Triad. It is suspected but not confirmed, and anything that is going on in Israel, that is very difficult to say confirm if they are not going to disclose it by their own, because they keep the things very secret. Mossad अपने आप में अलग चीज है, right? So here is the discussion about the changing targets of nuclear warheads of India from Pakistan to China. And although it is not a good thing for the world peace, but to maintain peace also there is a need of having a credible deterrence, so that the party which is in front of you does not break the peace and force you to indulge in violence. And for that matter, you should be that much capable that if anybody is going to attack, then he should be fearful that I would also be beaten. That will be devastating for me also. And that is why it is necessary evil to have a credible deterrence with you, to deter the other people to not to fight with you, not to tease you, not to attack you. And that is the thing what India is trying to achieve with respect to China. So here we finish off our discussion, and please do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new videos. And you can also follow us on our Facebook and Instagram handles. This is our website where you will find various free materials, study materials, courses, videos, etc., as well as paid materials also. And this is our app. So here you can download the app from the Google Play Store. You will just have to type the name Competology and you will find the app over there in the Google Play Store, which will enable you to access our study materials quite easily, and you will not be needed to go through the browser mode and all those kind of things. So here we finish off. Thank you very much and have a nice day.